Hello friends, this presentation is of class 8 subject geography. In this presentation we will discuss about migration. It contains the following topics: human migration, transmittance, type of migration, causes of migration, brief history of migration, impact of migration, and the last topic is brain drain and its causes. Students, you must have seen the birds are moving from one place to another in different seasons, and human beings also move in search of better opportunities and for jobs, etc. Human migration. To migrate means to move to a home in a new place permanently or temporarily. Human migration is the movement of people from one place to another over long distances. Migration exclude short-term movement like those of nomads, commuters and tourists. Temporary migration example is the seasonal movement of hired farm laborers or transmittance. Who are the transmittance? A seasonal movement of pastoral people with their animals to farmer places in winter and back again in summer. Migration is voluntary. When people themselves choose to migrate in search of opportunities, that is, they choose to migrate or to move by themselves. That is called voluntary migration. Some migration are forced by conditions such as war, famines or epidemics. People who migrate in such condition and cannot return to their homes on ground of safety are called refugees. Type of migration. Migration is of two types: outward migration, inward migration. Let us discuss outward migration. The movement of people out of the region is called emigration. People who move out are called emigrants. Inward migration, the movement of people into the region is called immigration. People who move in are called immigrants. There are two regions, number one donor and number two receiver. Donor regions from which people emigrate: Mexico, India, Russia, China. Receiver regions are regions to which people migrate: USA, Russia, Germany, Saudi Arabia, Canada and UK. Internal versus international migration. Internal migration. When people move to a new home in another place within a country, it's called internal migration. For example, rural to urban and from small urban to large urban area. International migration, it is also known as external migration, when people cross an international border and move to a new home in different countries. Intercontinental, that is a migration between different continents, and intracontinental means that is migration between countries in the same continent. What is the basic reason behind migration? There are two factors, push factor and pull factors. Let us discuss one by one. Push factors, difficulties that cause people to emigrate: food shortage, shortage of job, lack of amenities, war, natural disasters, persecution. Pull factors are factors that attract immigrants to certain places. Different factors are abundance of food, higher earning, better amenities, political stability, lower risk of natural disaster, racial equality and regional freedom. Brief history of migration. About 2 lakhs years ago, modern human emerged in Africa. These humans spread throughout Africa between 80,000 to 60,000 years ago. They entered Asia to Europe, to Australia and to America between 20,000 and 15,000 years ago. About 10,000 years ago, man has changed from hunter-gatherer to farmer and started settled life. They led to migrate from new land for new resources. People started migrating from one continent to another for different purposes. Over generations, the migrants settled, the colonies outnumbered the native people in some continents such as Australia and America. Industrial evolution began in Europe in 18th century, which involved a change from manufacturing goods by hands manufacturing with the help of machines. Towns and cities came up around factories and mines. People started migrating from village to urban centers in search of job. There are several gold rushes. A gold rush is a rapid migration of miners to sites where new gold deposits have been discovered. On the whole, people started settling from rural to urban, from small town to big town, and from less developed countries to more developed countries in 19th century. This map will help you to understand the migration of people from Africa to Europe to Asia to Australia and other part of the country or the world. Impact of migration. Large scale migration affect donor region from which people migrate and the receiver region to which people migrate. It may change size and age composition, change birth rate and death rate, social condition, that is level of education and condition of health, and the last is economic condition. What is the main impact of migration on donor region? It has positive effect as well as negative effects. Positive effects. Emigration reduce the population density, which in turn reduce the pressure on resources. It reduces birth rate. Migrants send back money to people in their own original home. This helps improve the economy of their native places. And what is the negative impact? Immigration may lead to loss of skilled labor. This slow down economic development. It leads to a loss of young people of working age. It causes family structures to break down. Immigrants give up their own culture and adopt the culture of the place where they settle. Impact of migration on receiver regions. The positive effects are: immigration reduces underpopulation. It increases the supply of labor. Immigrant workers may be willing to work at cheaper rates than native workers. It increases the working population. Presence of people of different races, religion and language and other culture increases understanding and tolerance among different groups. People can encourage the local people on different languages. It has negative impact also. Large scale immigration increase the pressure on local resources. Industries prefer to employ cheap migrant labor. It makes it difficult for local people to get jobs. A large amount of money earned by immigrants are sent away to their native places. Large scale immigration of people having a language and religion different from local may cause conflict. Brain drain. It refers to immigration of a large number of highly skilled and educated people, including scientists, doctors, engineers, etc. It is technically called human capital flight. What are the main reasons of brain drain? That are the causes of brain drain. It has some push factor as well as pull factors. What are the push factors? Low earnings, lack of facilities for education and training, lack of facilities and fund for research, poor condition of work, poor work culture, lack of freedom, political and economic instability, persecutions on ground on race, religion, social and custom, etc. There are some pull factors: high earnings, ample facilities for educating and training, ample facilities for funds and research, good condition of work, good work culture, freedom at work, and political and economical stability. Impact of brain drain. It is a cause for concern because it robs the country of its brightest people. It has negative effects. The country loses skilled labor, slowing down its development. The country loses the services of scientists, doctors and teachers. The country loses businessmen and its economy suffer. The resources that the country spend on education and training and on immigrants are wasted. The country loses the taxes that immigrant would pay. The emigration of some and their success abroad encourage others to follow. It has some positive effects. Those who emigrate sharpen their skill and increase their knowledge abroad. Those who emigrate send back a large part of the income that helps the home country economy. The prospect of emigration encourages people to get good education and develop skills. At the end of this presentation, assignment is given. What is human migration? Give an example of temporary migration. Who is refugee? Give an example of forced migration. Name two countries from which people migrate. or emigrate, and 2 countries that receive a large number of emigrants. What is meant by rural to urban migration? How did the Industrial Revolution affect migration, and what is meant by brain drain? Do all this assignment in your notebook. Thank you.